Oh, little lefty, don't worry. We're all here with you. We should walk slowly. If we get short of breath, our nose is more easy to trick. Look, it's the first hex-nose tree. Page 66. While the 12 Plainswalkers are making their way on the road to the hex-nose forests, one of the Mole Digger tribe members named Little Lefty, a former twin, suddenly hangs their head sheepishly. As Kiki's previous Patreon mentioned, Little Lefty is originally part of a twin duo, Little Lefty and Little Righty. Sadly, Little Righty passed away some time ago, leaving Little Lefty to be a lone sibling. Perhaps the journey had sparked a memory in Little Lefty, giving rise to him showing signs of fear, apprehension, and sadness. However, a kind-hearted tribe member helps them up and offers an encouraging reminder that Little Lefty is not alone. Meanwhile, Little Grasstail, known for their rich and grass-like tail tip, is giving Little Fuzzball a piggyback ride and instructs others to walk slower as they approach the Hex-Nose Forest. Because the hazardous miasma from the Hex-Nose Forest works by being inhaled, the Sergals have figured out that the slower rate of breathing, the less impact it will have on them. Therefore, their slowed pace will minimize their exposure to the miasma to make their journey as safe as possible. As the troop continues their hike, a rather unusual tree comes into view. Little Grasstail identifies the strange plant, informing the others that that is a Hex-Nose tree. It is now clear that they have reached the border to the Hex-Nose Forest, and will soon be under its mind-bending influence. Whoa, it's so pretty! This is my first time seeing fire. Food tastes better if you cook it, and it's safer too. I didn't know mole could taste so good. Only one piece left. Page 67. The group decides to take a break and rest and eat. Ike shows the Sergals how to build a campfire, and lights it to the delight and amazement of others. Most, and perhaps even all, of the Sergals have never seen fire before, and consequently never enjoyed a warm-cooked meal. As they all dine on skewered and roasted Tlixian moles, Ike explains to them all that food tastes better when cooked, while also noting that it makes it safer as well. While he may have been referring to foodborne illnesses, there may be more at work. It is also thought that exposing Tlixian matter to flame can suppress and neutralize its toxic effects, particularly black Tlixians. However, not all is well. While their bellies may be full with delicious meat for the time being, they have fully exhausted the food supplies that they brought with them. If they are to eat again, they will have to begin foraging for food soon. When we fall asleep, we first close our real eyelids. As our hearts gently drift into the darkness, our spirit's eyelids close as well. But the exact moment this happens, we have no way of knowing, because that time belongs to our God. Page 68. As the group settles down to sleep, Little Oracle explains to the Agunders their Sieg tribal beliefs surrounding sleep. It appears that they give meaning to multiple elements, both spiritual and physical. Little Oracle mentions the real eyelids, which are closed first when trailing off to slumber. Then they go on to mention their heart entering a trance-like state, floating away into the darkness until their inner spiritual eyelids close for them as well. The moment when this occurs are described as to belonging to their god, and the manner in which they close is unbeknownst to them, only to the aforementioned deity. As such, the machinations behind the act of sleeping remain a mystery to the Sergals, giving way to deep spiritual implications. Oh, Peck! Here, try on this bigger outfit. Have I grown enough to start my own business, big brother? The owner of a cow spa, right? We've almost reached our old home. Let's hurry. Page 69. The following morning, Ike notices Peck has mysteriously grown again. Noticing that his younger brother no longer fits well in his current clothing, Ike gives him a new outfit for his bigger body. As he slips into his larger clothes, Peck finds that his horns are once again growing out, causing him to have a moment of joy. According to Agunder traditions, having one's horns grow out means that they are old enough to make their professional dream come true. Comic readers May remember that Peck previously said, "I want to be a cattle herder," on page 8. It is now revealed that his particular dream is to own and operate a cow spa and hotel. A cow spa is a special kind of hotel that provides spa facilities which people, especially travelers, can use with their tea urchin cows. People can bathe their cows and then later enjoy the spa for themselves with a cleansing and rejuvenating dip in the water. It would be a wonderful destination for travelers who journey with cows. This dream is perfect for someone like Peck, who has a kind heart. As the writer's journal entry, the 6 Vilous lore question and answers mentioned, pure water is a very precious commodity on planet Tal, and most, if not all of it, is used for drinking water. As such, many people do not engage in the act of swimming or bathing, and such a concept is somewhat alien to them. Thus, the cow spa mentioned above is likely to be considered unusual, which perhaps provides an alternate concept that is unique to Tal. Also trivia, spa hotels, also known as rokan, are a real thing in Japan, and are fairly common. These are a special type of hotel which provides a spa or hot spring for guests to relax and enjoy. They are quite popular and are frequented by travelers as they tour the country. The forest's scent is getting stronger. What the? Is someone there? Nah, it's just mushrooms. Oh, now my outfit is too loose. Ah, okay, let me tie up them hems. Page 70. As the 12 Plainswalkers continue their trek, one of them comments that the alien odor of miasma from Hexnose Forest is becoming stronger. This indicates that they have crossed into the deeper parts of the forests. As the miasma begins to take its toll on the group, their perception of the world becomes impaired. For instance, Little Chatter noticed some strange figures in the distance, and at first thought they were people, but it was soon determined that they were just mushrooms, and they continue their march. Meanwhile, the strange phenomenon of Peck's size happened again. While he was large with full horns a moment ago, Peck's body once again is smaller, and his horns have vanished. Because of this, his new outfit is now too loose for his shorter stature. EK tries to tie up his hems to compensate for the size change. Look, there are moles here. Yeah, moles. Moles, yeah. Page 71. Little Warrior makes a great discovery by finding a fresh colony of Tlixian moles. Excitedly, the young fighter calls out to the rest of the tribe. Rushing over, another Sergal confirms the presence of moles, and the tribe happily begins to stomp on the ground. This thunderous display is quickly rewarded as the moles begin to literally pop out from their burrows. With their newly gathered wealth, everyone is able to eat again. Everyone, wait! Something strange. Not moles? Ugh. Page 72. The Mole Digger tribe's stroke of good luck sadly proves to be short-lived. As Little Black Ears takes a moment to inspect a mole, they notice that it looks a little strange. Becoming suspicious, the Sergal uses a nail to prick the mole's flesh. The mole responds by suddenly bursting, rapidly spewing forth a strange liquid. Little Black Ears quickly alerts everyone, warning them to discard their fake moles immediately. Sadly, warning comes too late for Little Warrior. As the young fighter tries to eat the fake mole, their teeth squeeze it enough to make it burst open, filling the poor Sergal's mouth. Everyone, get away from it! Don't touch it! Poor Little Warrior. They moved on. Page 73. The tribe members back away quickly from the fake moles as a couple members try to rescue an incapacitated Little Warrior by dragging them away. However, Little Black Ears repeats the warning to everyone to keep their distance and refrain from touching any of the fake moles, including Little Warrior, who is now contaminated. Heeding the warning, Little Warrior is released. The tribe looks on helplessly as the light rapidly fades from the young one's eyes. Before long, Little Warrior lies dead. The 12 Plainswalkers have now become 11. Pluck. Here is the true entrance to the Hexnose Forest. We've got to get away from the monster, but we can't keep running much longer. We have no choice. We must pass through here. Page 74. Little Blackears gathers a handful of hairs from the corpse of Little Warrior, breaking a bundle off to take with them. It is unknown what the purpose of this action is. The 11 Plainswalkers journey on. Before long, they reach a true entrance to the Hexnose Forest. With the large, twisted Hexnose Forest looming ahead, we can see that the earlier trees were just scattered ornaments before this massive and ominous labyrinth. As Little Warrior's death proved, this forest poses high risks, even for trespassers who stick to the safer fringe areas around the forest's perimeter. What further dangers lurk in the deep woods, no one can know for sure. Hey, Little Blackears, I'm scared. It's not our first time passing through Hexnose, so don't worry. Page 75. The 11 Plainswalkers now walk through the Hexnose Forest. This forest is laden with a mass of very strange and complicated ingrown trees everywhere. Between the branches of these trees there are strange suspended substances. They possess a bubble-like shape and have reflective surface, almost akin to a mirror. Little Waver peers into one of these whilst wandering about. Meanwhile, Little Stubtail tugs on the cloth of Little Blackears after growing increasingly afraid. As their collective concerns mount and grow, something unknown appears and goes away, soon above and overheard of Ikei and Peck after instantaneously being reflected on the mirror-like bubbles. Little Blackears, meanwhile, offers Little Stubtail words of encouragement and a reminder that they have passed through the Hexnose Forest many times before without anything going awry. Peck, don't worry. Even here of all places, not only is the monster chasing us, but you're mysteriously growing. Little Peck. Page 76. Despite the precarious odds stacked against them, the 11 Plainswalkers continue their trek through the hazardous Hexnose Forest. At first, things seem to be progressing relatively smoothly. However, Ikei notices that his little brother once again begins to mysteriously grow in size, and now stands taller than his older sibling. Ikei cannot help but look on in bewilderment and concern, but he tries to reassure Peck that things will be fine. However, going forward it will surely return us to our ordinary life. It is as certain as the feeling of warmth and comfort felt when holding hands. Yeah, I understand. I will protect him, at all times, no matter where. Oh, hey, little Oracle? Yeah, it is getting closer. Page 77. Ikei continues to reassure Peck, telling him how he firmly believes that continuing forward will ultimately bring them back to the ordinary life they had before they were thrust into this most strange and dangerous situation. Ikei then makes a metaphor, stating that their safe return is as certain as the feelings of warmth, comfort, and even the safety one feels when holding hands with someone you love and trusts. Peck understands his brother's philosophy and holds hands with him in a moment of deep family bonding. In their heartwarming verification, Ikei vows in his heart that he will protect his precious little brother, no matter what happens nor where. Meanwhile, Little Grasstail and Little Oracle notice the steady approach of something ominous. They both share the same nervous feeling as it grows closer to the group. Everyone, run! Page 78. Just like Little Grasstail and Little Oracle, Little Blackears also manage to notice that something is looming ever so closely to them. Thus, they issue out a cry towards everyone in the group to make a run for it. The 11 Plainswalkers immediately begin to follow suit, dashing through the forest as quickly as they can. Do you think we lost it? Maybe. I'll climb up there and take a look for the shadow. Wait, let me do it. Okay, thank you, Little Stubtail. Please be careful. Page 79. The 11 Plainswalkers have run far from the shadowy creature and grew wary. They paused to take a small rest. The group is still feeling quite worried about the monster that was chasing them, so Little Blackears decides to climb up and look back towards the shadow of the monster. However, Little Stubtail remembers how Little Blackears previously said that they should all work together. Despite feeling apprehensive, Little Stubtail offers to climb instead, courageously volunteering to take Little Blackears' place. As Little Stubtail makes the climb up, their tribesmate voices their gratitude. Meanwhile, Little Weaver, Baldy, and Lefty gaze in wonder over a strange bubble-like structure. It's glimmering a little. Alright, don't let your guard down. Let's keep walking. Page 80. Little Stubtail drops down from the tree they had climbed up and reports that they were able to see the shimmering shadow of the monster after looking around carefully. Little Blackears advises everyone to keep going while keeping their guard up. Meanwhile, Fuzzball touches something strange, possibly a spore from a hexnose tree. It's soft and squishy, and it suddenly moves just after Fuzzball touches it. Even more bizarrely, it begins to divide into more jelly-like blobs. A note about canon correction. It has been revealed that Fuzzball officially does not have Little in their name. This is unique, as only Fuzzball does not have this name title among the tribe's members. The reason is currently unknown. They're starting to swell up. This may be bad. Page 81. The strange bubbles have begun to swell, growing in size all around the group. Little Blackear voices their concern, remembering the danger faced from the fake moles earlier. Unfortunately, this may be another looming danger they must face, as several of the bubbles burst above them. Little Grasstail! Little Baldy! Little Oracle! Ugh! I can't get through! Page 82. Little Grasstail, Baldy, and Oracle are all pulled into a bubble-like glob, where they become confined. Little Blackears frantically calls out to them and tries to push through to release the trapped tribe mates, but they are unable to break through the bubble's gelatinous barrier. Oh no! Everyone! Little Grasstail. It's no use. We can't get through. It looks like we entered another room. I can't smell their scent anymore. We can get back if we go through the forest's navel. Alright. Page 83. Little Grasstail, Oracle, and Baldy have all been confined to this strange bubble. However, from their point of view, it appears that they have actually been transported into another dimension. As Little Oracle explains, they describe the phenomenon as stepping into another room. In order to escape this zone and return to their companions, Little Grasstail suggests going through the forest's navel. The navel of a forest is a special place within hexnose forests, as this mysterious forest is comprised of multiple dimensions which may overlap one another. There is a place called the Navel where all roads connect together in a nexus. Because the Mole Digger tribe passed through the Hexnose forest many times beforehand, they have learned about this location's mysterious nature and how to navigate it. Let's head to the forest's navel together. It doesn't make sense. The monster is getting closer. We need to run. Page 84. Little Grasstail gestures from beyond the other room, pointing towards their own navel. Little Blackears understands the message. Meet up at the navel forests. But before long, every member begins to notice that the monster is now looming closer than ever. What was previously just a shadow far in the distance is now clearly visible in the swollen reflective bubbles. Regardless of how the creature was able to catch up, the exhausted Plainswalkers are left with no choice. Despite their tired state, they must make a daring run for it. Lore update: Sergal anatomy. The translation team had a discussion with Mick about if Sergals have a navel, a belly button. It turns out that Mick has drawn Sergals with a navel many times. Up until now, this was left ambiguous, and we were unsure about Sergals having navels, but now it is confirmed. Sergals do indeed have a navel, though it is often obscured with fur. As Sergals are oviviparous, similar to some types of sharks that live live birth, Mick has pointed out that a navel exists even with oviviparity types of birth development, even in creatures like birds and reptiles that lay their eggs instead of hatching them inside their mother, as Sergals do. The developed young gets a type of cord attachment through which nutrients pass through the embryo. For instance, if you look at a baby turtle just after hatching, you can see the navel in the center of their belly. Thus, it makes perfect sense for a Sergal to have a navel as well. What does this mean for fans? It means that if your Sergal was drawn with a navel, it is now confirmed to be adherent to canon. If it was not visible, that is fine too. Once again, the fur can obscure this minute anatomical detail. Little black ears, listen to me. Little chatter, what is it? Page 85. As the monster continues to gain on the group, the tribe members run swiftly deeper into the forest. As they flee, Little Chatter turns to Little Black Ears. It seems they may have an idea. Vilous. That's the name of their son, and could be the reason things look different. You know why I think that? Well, quote, sunlight from Vilous has more radiation than Earth's sun, and it may cause some mutation in highly radioactive areas. Southern lands on planet Hell may be strongly touched by radiation in particular, unquote. Age. Yeah, Sergals not only act like dogs, but they grow up just as fast as them too. Northern Sergals mature much more quickly than humans. They grow rapidly throughout childhood and are considered young adults by the age of 10 Tal years, which is roughly equivalent to 10 Earth years. Before reaching this age, they are physically and emotionally comparable to human teenagers between 14 and 16 years old. This accelerated development comes at the cost of a shorter lifespan. The average Northern Sergal lives for about 60 Earth years. As they age, their appearance changes in several noticeable ways. The fur around the chin and ears become longer, the cheeks grow more sunken, the skin begins to sag, wrinkles become more pronounced, and white fur gradually spreads across the face, much like the graying muzzle of an aging dog. That whole thing is one sentence. You maniacs, fix your wiki. In old age, some individuals also develop weak legs and a stooped posture due to the gradual deterioration of their joints. These signs of aging are largely the same for both males and females. Because of their rapid development, Northern Sergals are considered adults once they reach the equivalent age of a human aged 14 to 16 years, which occurs before they are 10 years old. Historically, Southern Sergals did not have a universally defined age of adulthood. After the widespread adoption of the gold ring calendar, however, many Southern societies established formal legal ages of majority. In the more developed regions of Tau, adulthood is often recognized later than among the Northern Sergals, reflecting longer periods of education and social development. Crafting. Because every good game has crafting in it, comics are no exception. Northern Sergal armor was originally developed to protect its wearer from the dangerous wildlife of the northern wilderness. The earliest armor was made of the bones of large animals and offered simple protection during hunting and combat. Over time, before the founding of the Shingu Kingdom, Northern Sergals developed a more advanced form of armor using natural ceramic materials. They collected clay from marshes and other areas rich in ceramic deposits, dried and ground it into a fine powder, then mixed it with strong plant fibers. The mixture was shaped in molds and fired at high temperatures to create durable armor plates. These plates protected only the most vital parts of the body, such as the head and chest, and were tied together with cords. Some suits were also crafted to resemble the appearance of the powerful creatures they hunted or reverenced. As Rain Sylves? How the fuck do you pronounce that?
Her name is Rain Siles.
As Rain founded the Shingu Kingdom and united the northern Sergals, Agunder artisans and engineers brought from the east as slaves introduced more advanced armor-making techniques.
She also has a prehensile clitoral.
Eastern armor designs were adapted and refined specifically for combat, creating the style that is now recognized as traditional Sergal armor. Before this exchange of knowledge, the northern Sergals lacked the technology needed to produce armor of this complexity. It is expected that one day the city will completely surround the shoreline, forming